Welcome to Killarney in County Kerry, which hosted the third round of the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Rally Championship. Legendary stages such as Mall's Gap, Ardgroom and Cod's Head await the competitors in what promises to be another close fought battle at the front of the field. Alistair Fisher leads the championship after 2 rounds. Sam Moffat, on the other hand, was the star of the show in the last round in West Cork, until he punctured on the third last stage, handing the championship win to Josh Moffat, who's not contesting Killarney this year. We have a battle royal in the offing in the Kingdom. Welcome to the 2017 Cartel.ie Killarney International Rally of the Lakes. And so to the start ramp on the Friday evening of the 2-day 15-stage event.
We're in the heart of Killarney for the ceremonial start of the third round in the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Championship, the Killarney Rally of the Lakes, infamous for its scenic, beautiful, challenging stages, and any driver that leaves Killarney with a win here this weekend will have surely deserved it.
And first through, the top seed, Alistair Fisher, in his Ford Fiesta R5.
Yeah, they're very much classic Killarney. All the big ones, Mall's Gap, Haley Pass, Kiar Lake, Ardgroom. So there's a lot of driving. It's almost 2 rallies in one, to be honest. There's a lot of work out there.
Fisher was off the pace in West Cork. Same can be said for the Ford Fiesta of Sam Moffat.
You've been in winning form all year. You just haven't got that win in the Tarmac Championship, and I know that's the one you're looking for this weekend.
Yeah, we're still gutted from West Cork, so we're really gunning for it here, and yeah, we're going to try again and really go for it.
The top world rally car amongst the R5s is the Ford Fiesta of Clonmel's birthday boy, Roy White.
I don't think you could find a better way to spend your birthday weekend than on the Rally of the Lakes.
No, absolutely not, especially Cod's Head Ardgroom, 2 of my favourite ever stages. I mean, if they ever run the lakes and they're down there, I'll usually come. So no, really looking forward to the weekend. Weather's going to make it very tricky here, so it's going to be a lottery for the first couple of stages.
Next through, the Hyundai i20 of Dubliner Robert Barrable.
We're West Cork, and then we're doing a pre-event test before this event, so we're a little bit more comfortable with the car. I'd still give a little bit to do for Irish Tarmac, but no, we're getting more comfortable as the day goes on.
The legendary Austin McHale won the Rally of the Lakes on 3 occasions. Could his son Aaron repeat that success in his Citroën DS3, having been on the podium a number of times here?
Killarney has been kind to you in the past.
Yeah, it's a good rally. I think I finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So first is the only one, but it'll be a hard ass this weekend with the pace of the lads in the Tarmac Championship. But I'm starting to get used to the car. We had a good test last week, so hopefully it goes well now the weekend.
As Aaron rolls away from the start, let's have a look at what the cars and crews can expect on this year's Rally of the Lakes. Stage 1 is the famous Mall's Gap stage, which runs over 16.9 kilometres, while the second stage is the lunar Healy Pass, which runs 11.5 kilometres before the first service. Healy Pass is also stage 5. Stage 3 is at Cod's Head, just over 14 kilometres, and is also stage 6, followed by Ardgroom, the longest of the day, just short of 19 kilometres. That's also stage 7. The final stage of day 1 is the 9.88 kilometre run over Kilmacalogue before the overnight halt back in Killarney. All the talking's been done now. It's time for the action to begin as the leading cars make their way up the famous Mall's Gap stage, which will open this year's rally.
Competitors spent the last 2 days wrecking these stages in Killarney in the bone dry, and certainly did not expect this change in the weather so quickly into the event. So who will be the quickest over that first stage this morning? Mall's Gap.
Despite those inclement conditions, there was still plenty of early morning spectators at the top of the gap. This year, the cars turned right at the top rather than dropping down into Kenmare. And first through is the Fiesta R5 of Championship leader Alistair Fisher. He was bone dry, indeed sunny at the bottom of the gap, but it was wet and slippery at the top, making tyre choice crucial. Fisher, who was off the pace in West Cork, however, put in a sparkling run on stage 1 and led by 4.7 seconds, which he extended to 6.9 seconds by the end of stage 2. Here's the birthday boy, Clonmel's Roy White, in the lone World Rally car in the top 10 seedings. White, the reigning national rally champion, settled into second place behind Fisher after the opening 2 runs. And there was almost a 7-second cushion to Fisher after stage 2 Healy Pass. White's charge to close the gap to the leader, however, was to come later in the day. Third up the gap was the Fiesta R5 of Monaghan's Sam Moffat, 3.4 seconds behind White, and he remained just over 2 seconds behind the World Rally car after the Healy Pass stage. Moffat is looking for his second victory in the Kingdom, having won in Killarney back in 2014 in a Ford Fiesta World Rally car.
Cut 6 right over small crest, 100 over crest, 200 after to flat 6 left, and 6 left hold over small crest, 6 left again, and 6 left opens, 100 red, mid on crest, and 5 right into 3 left A+.
Robert Barrable was having his second run in the Hyundai i20 after his debut in the car on the Irish roads in West Cork, where a puncture laid on cost him any chances of a place on the podium. Barrable was 4th over Mall's Gap and remained 4th after Healy Pass, 13.2 seconds behind Fisher, the overall leader, but just 2.3 seconds behind Moffat's Ford Fiesta. Stephen Wright is another whose confidence will be sky high after a recent good run in the Monaghan Rally, where he mixed it amongst a plethora of World Rally cars. But he'll want to get a good haul of points after his unfortunate non-finish in West Cork. After the opening 2 stages, he was 5th in the Fiesta, 30.1 seconds down and 16.9 seconds behind Barrable. It was tight at the top. Behind Wright in the Ford Fiesta was the visiting Welsh crew of Thomas and Uric Davies, 55.2 seconds off Fisher's lead and 25.1 seconds off Wright. Aaron McHale had switched from the Skoda Fabia to the Citroën DS3 for the 2017 season, but if he'd hoped to be mixing it amongst the leaders after the opening 2 stages, it was not to be. McHale and co-driver Derek Kelly were down in 7th, 1 minute and 10 seconds off the lead. Next through was the Skoda Fabia of Brendan Comiskey and Ronan O'Kane. The pair were lying in 8th place, 4 seconds off McHale. Next up, the Ford Fiesta of Porrick Duffy and co-driver Kevin Glynn, close in on Comiskey and just 4 seconds back after 2 stages. Here's the Skoda Fabia of Joseph McGonigal and Kieran Geeney, who were 6th after the opening stages. But this excursion off the Kerry Road didn't help. He needed spectator assistance to get going again, and he was caught as well by Comiskey's Fabia.
Challenging day at the office so far, Joe?
Yeah, unfortunately with a spin on stage 2 and lost 40-45 seconds. And only for the spectators, we need to thank, we wouldn't be here. We got beached on a rock and they had to push us off it, so a long way to go yet.
As always in the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship, there's a rally within a rally. These were the leaders in the national class for modified cars, and quickest after the opening 2 runs was the Honda Civic of Vincent McSweeney and Michael Carney.
Yeah, fast 4 right, slippy, long flat 2 left nip, easy, 4 left in, easy, 3 left, into 4 left in a sign, short 4 right, 100.
Some amazing shots there of McSweeney flying up Mall's Gap, and he was quickly followed by Kevin Eves and William Lynch in their Toyota Corolla. 6.3 seconds separated their Corolla from the leader after Mall's Gap, and that gap eased out to 4.9 seconds after stage 2 Healy Pass, while third was the escort of Gary Kiernan and Ryan Moore, 17.2 seconds off the lead after the opening 2 runs. Another of the flying escorts is a Mark II driven by Donegal's Declan Gallagher, the 2015 modified champion. He was 4th after stage 2, 27.3 seconds off McSweeney. Robert Duggan and Ger Clancy were 5th in their escort after 2 stages, 2.4 seconds off Gallagher. Next through and in their first season in the BMW 1M are Eugene Megan and Sarah Whelan, 6th in the modified, 3.5 seconds behind Duggan. Another BMW, but an E30 for Kevin O'Donoghue and David Randalls, who lay in 7th in the national category, 2.4 seconds off Megan. They were trying to hold off the Welsh pair of Phil Collins and Ray Fitzpatrick, a mere 1/10 of a second behind O'Donoghue.
Turn right 2, very wide, 170. Flat left over crest 100.
Ninth, Vincent O'Shea and Owen O'Donoghue in their escort. While the top 10 in the National was rounded out by the local crew of Charlie Hickey and Johnny Hickey in their RS. They were 44.1 seconds off the overall lead.
They're class stages, you know, and it's great to get the opportunity to come down here and drive them. It's unbelievable. Like they're so abrasive. There's everything in them. They are proper rally stages.
So the top 5 overall after 2 stages. Alistair Fisher leads by 6.9 seconds from the World Rally car of Roy White. It's Sam Moffat in 3rd, Robert Barable's 4th, and Stephen Wright rounds up the top 5 in his Ford Fiesta. That's it for part 1 of the 2017 Rally of the Lakes. Join us shortly for part 2. Welcome back to part 2 of the 2017 Cartel.ie Rally of the Lakes, the 3rd round of the 2017 Irish Tarmac Rally Championship. And we're on to the second loop of stages, which are Cod's Head, Ardgroom, and the second run over Healy Pass. As ever, and despite cool and windy conditions, plenty of spectators from far and wide going to see the Saturday stages. And all sorts of transports are being used to boot. It's still only April in Ireland. Summer is yet to arrive. It's wild, windy and chilly out on the stages. Alistair Fisher goes through stage 3, the end of which his lead had been cut by the World Rally Fiesta of Roy White to a mere 0.7 of a second. Unfortunately, Fisher, who was just pipped to the 2016 title by Keith Cronin, crashed the Fiesta on stage 4, Ardgroom, the aftermath we will see in Sam Moffat's in-car camera.
Left plus, 3 left plus, and don't cut 3 right plus. 40, okay. 40, 6 left, mid on crest, 40, push.
Moffat and co-driver Carl Atkinson moving into second place now in their Fiesta after Fisher's off, but who dropped to 3rd by the end of stage 3.
Mid over crest, then mid over big jump, and flat mid over crest dip, 80 to 5 right, 200, come back right up here then after.
The new leader after 5 runs, Roy White in the Fiesta, and heading into second service at Castletown Bear, and now on drying at fast stages, his lead was 9.3 seconds ahead of the R5 contingent. And up to second place and ahead of Moffat, the Hyundai i20 R5 of Dubliner Robert Barrable and his co-driver Damien Connolly. Stephen Wright was now 4th, but little back from the top 3 at 1 minute and 38 seconds in arrears. Having recovered from his earlier off, Donegal's Joe McGonigal had climbed back from 10th to 5th in his Skoda Fabia. In the national category, Kevin Eves' Toyota Corolla took the lead on stage 4 and now led after 5 by 24 seconds, despite 1 or 2 moments on Ardgroom.
Everything's still going to plan for you, Kevin?
I would a very lucky one there in Ardgroom. We kind of lost concentration, went into a dip and just coming down the grass and actually broke the wheel, but it actually didn't go flat. We actually got the whole way to the start of the next stage, and thanks to Declan Galler, he got out and says the wheel's looking soft there, so we actually noticed the rim was cracked then, so got to change and stuff, so we would have lost no time at all, but we're happy out.
Leading after 3 stages, Vincent McSweeney was back to 2nd in the Honda Civic, but he still had the leader in sight and still plenty of tarmac to be traversed. Gary Kiernan had been fast on Saturday morning, but he retired with back accident problems at the end of special stage 3.
So the rally called to a halt for you?
Yeah, stage 3, we went out over a bit of a jump and clipped a bit of a stone wall, bent the back axle and broke a wheel, and there's no point in continuing. I can get an axle, but we'll keep all for another day, hopefully.
Another class within the rally is the showroom Group N category, and the leader after 5 stages, Brian O'Keefe and Sean Haid in their Evo 9, the pair 11th overall to boot.
4 right plus, use the road, 80, very long 6 left, continues for 120. To mid over crest to trees, 60, continues at 120.
A wonderful overhead shot of Ger O'Donovan and Derek Tobin in their Impreza. They were 12th overall after 5 stages and are having a rare old battle with O'Keefe, 2.4 seconds off the Group N leader.
100 up. And Care fast
fast left in over crest, a bit of caution this one, 40. Very fast right, and Kerr, long fast left, tightens past the fence.
Just behind in third were Gavin Kelly and Elaine Nichet in their Evo 9. They too were in the thick of the action, 3.3 seconds off the second place of Pretza. William Mabity and Andrew Brown were fourth in Group N in their Mitsubishi and 14th overall. Gus Carney and Tommy Hayes were back after a 6-month layoff, and they were fifth in the Group N Evo 9.
Mid-over jumps for 4 right and 4 left. 4 right and 4 left, and keep right for mid-flat crest. 60, keep right in for mid-flat crest. Go now 60 for jump dip to 5 right over bump. 80 for 5 left, don't cut, okay, 40.
In the two-wheeled or 2 category, the leaders were Keith Lyons and Sean Hegarty. Second in class, John Mulholland and Jeff Case in their Fiesta. They were 23.1 seconds off the R2 lead. While third in R2 and 20th in the overall standings, James Wilson and Gavin Doherty in their Peugeot 208.
And a caution 2 right over crest, and they have 3 right narrows. And they one left over jump, 100 up mid. And 6 left at the top, 6 left at the top. They have 5 right down. And 5 left over crest.
The R2 stuff, it's competitive. So we made the big step up this year to go there, and it's a massive change from what we were in last year now.
What a baptism of fire up Mall's Gap this morning.
Yes, it was unbelievable, absolutely amazing. Just it's this classic stages, both Mall's Gap and Healy's Pass. It was good to do them both now.
With a large number of juniors entered, the clerk of the course, Anthony O'Connor, decided to run those entered on the opening day as opposed to the normal Sunday stages. It meant the young drivers got to sample some of the classic stages around the Barra Peninsula.
Here we are in Park Fermer with the J class, most certainly. Justin, Jenna and John all competing in the juniors this weekend and preparing to hit that Mall's Gap this morning.
Yeah, it's nice and wet, so we have a hard choice now to make, but looking forward to the junior battle with the guys again today. It's been great so far, so try and keep it going.
Jenna leading the championship at the minute, doing fantastically.
Yeah, we're going very well now at the minute, so hopefully we'll keep the pace up today and sure we'll see how we get on.
This is going to be a challenging day ahead, John.
It's going to be challenging, yeah, but nothing too different. Galway and Cork was wet, so same again this weekend, so hopefully it'll dry up, we get a bit of grip and get the hammer down.
Well, there was to be a non-finish for the top seeds, Kieran O'Donoghue and Timmy Kelly in their Honda Civic. Brian and Lachlan Moore, third after the opening 2 stages, also failed to finish in their Civic. And we move on to the juniors countdown, and Justin Ryan and Tommy Moynihan had a decent day of it. At the end of the juniors 8 stages, they'd finished 8th in their Civic. Jason Farrell in Junior 21, coincidentally just turned 21 recently and seated at 21, was co-driven by Timmy O'Sullivan in his red 1600 Honda Civic. He set the 7th fastest time on stage 1, Mall's Gap, in the juniors, and then went on to set some brilliant stage times all day. He finished 6th overall and 3rd in his class. Surely a name to look out for in the future. Jenna McCann and Sean O'Crowley, who led the overall class after West Cork, finished 5th in the juniors in their Fiesta. Problems for Eric Calnan and Aileen Kelly in their Peugeot 106, which was stuck in gear, but they managed to get their car to the finish and finished 4th in juniors. 3rd, Jason Black and Jack McKenna in their great-sounding rear-wheel drive Toyota Starlet. Second in juniors, John McCabe and Stephen Dugan in the Honda Civic. With the junior winners, Shane McCarthy and Tricia Greavy in their Honda. Big winners too, as their margin over McCabe was 2 minutes and 25 seconds. And to the victor of the spoils on the victory ramp back in Killarney.
enjoyed every minute from start to finish, without a doubt. I gave it everything, and fair play to Trish, she stayed with me and we done well. So
Really competitive junior class, Trish.
Oh, it was tough days rallying. They definitely didn't leave it easy for myself or Shane. It was 100% commitment from both of us. We did give it our all, and we're here today and delighted.
Back to the main fields now, and the action over the 3 remaining stages on day 1. Runs 6, 7 and 8 over Cod's Head, Ardgroom and Kilmacalogue. And the leader at the end of day 1's 8 stages, the World Rally Fiesta of Roy White and James O'Brien, a former co-driver indeed to 2-time Irish Tarmac Rally champion Andrew Nesbitt. Second, but well in touch with the Fiesta, was Rob Barrable in the Hyundai, just 8.5 seconds in arrears. Third, Sam Moffat in the R5 Fiesta after a ding-dong day-long battle with Barrable. He was 26.8 seconds off the overall lead.
150 to 6 right, 6 left, 170. Early push, 5 right and 6 left. 60 to 6 left. 60 to 4 right minus.
Stephen Wright was able to hold a steady 4th place, but he was making no impression on the top 3 now, over 3 minutes behind Roy White. And Wright was now looking over his shoulder at the Fabia of Joe McGonigal, who was still 5th after 8, but overnight he was just 3.4 seconds off Wright's 4th place. 6th, Brendan Comiskey's Fabia, over 1 minute and a half behind McGonigal. Thomas Davies, 7th overnight in his Fiesta. And completing the top 8, the Fiesta of Mauric Duffy, who admitted it took a while to get going on day 1. 9th overall, Aaron McHale in the DS3, with the top 10 rounded out by Joe and Richard Connolly in the Red Mills Fiesta. And so, at the end of the opening day, Bree caught up with the main protagonists.
Sam Moffat, what a day in the office. I'm sure you're delighted with it so far.
Yeah, no, it's been a good day, and I think our tyre choices paid off all day, and took a bit of a risk this evening going with soft and mediums, and it paid off.
Roy White still holding on to the lead after day 1.
Yeah, surprised to be here, especially after the last day out. We were so poor, so delighted to be leading at the end of day 1. Another long day tomorrow, so try and keep it together.
Robert, a challenging first day, but great to be up on that podium.
Yeah, it was a great first day, to be honest, Breed. Really happy. Good run on that stage there, even though the lads tried to pull it fast when they get their tyres changed before the last stage. So we'd see, we took a bit of time back off them there, so it'll be a good race tomorrow.
I'm sure you're delighted to be finished day 1.
Yeah, they're definitely the most difficult and demanding stages, so yeah, it's good to get through day 1. Tomorrow's stages, I suppose, are a bit sweeter, so yeah, hopefully we'll be fit to push on a bit.
The top 3 in the national class now. In 3rd, the Civic of Vincent McSweeney, the one-time leader, now 43.8 seconds off the modified lead. Now 2nd, Donegal's Flying Milkman, Declan Gallagher in his Ford Fiesta. 4th after the opening stages, he was now 40 seconds off the lead, which was held by the Toyota Corolla GT of Kevin Eaves, holding on to the top spot after taking the national category lead on stage 4.
Your hard work and consistency has paid off today.
I don't know about consistency now. On Ardgroom there again, the window completely fogged up and we ended up stuck on a wall, so we lost maybe 10 seconds in the wall, so I think we need to be careful now. Don't think Declan's a million miles away now. They actually took 15 out of us on Ardgroom with that there, and I'd say if anything, the way I thought we were driving in there, he should have probably had time out of us in there as well, so usual story.
Kevin Evans is feeling the pressure from you now.
I'd say he'd been alright in there anyway. We didn't drive that very well in there. We just couldn't get it together in there. We had a good run on Cod's Head in Ardgroom that second time over them, but we just weren't comfortable in there at all. And we're still here then the first day, so we're looking forward to tomorrow now.
So the overall leaderboard at the end of day 1 sees Roy White lead in his Ford Fiesta World Rally car, ahead of the Hyundai of Robert Barrable. Sam Moffat's 3rd, Stephen Wright is 4th, and Joe McGonigal is in 5th place. That's it for part 2 of this year's Cartel.ie International Rally of the Lakes. Join us shortly for part 3. Welcome back to the Cartel.ie Killarney International Rally of the Lakes, the third round of the 2017 Irish Tarmac Rally Championship, and the remaining 7 stages which will run on the second day of this 2-day event. A quick recap on day 1. Alistair Fisher led initially, but he went off. He'll rejoin day 2 under Rally 2 rules, hoping to pick up championship points. Roy White's Fiesta led going into day 2, 8.5 seconds ahead. Rob Barrable was second in the hard-charging I-20. Would he be going after White's World Rally car? Sam Moffat third in the Fiesta and second in R5. Welcome to day 2 in Killarney.
Day 2 of the Cartel.ie Killarney Rally of the Lakes. As we saw yesterday, Robert Barble worked immensely hard in the afternoon stages in order to catch and pass the Monaghan man Sam Moffat. So he now heads up the Irish Tarmac Championship here. But will he be satisfied with that, or is he going to go for the outright win here in Killarney? Stay with us for more action.
Day 2 has 7 stages, making 15 in total. Once again, Moll's Gap provides the opening stage before a quick service in Killarney. The second loop of stages sees the runs over Kilgobnet, Carra Lake and Rockfield before final service, with the second runs over Kilgobnet, Carra Lake and Rockfield completing this year's event. But first we head to the world-famous Moll's Gap stage. Wet at the top, drying at the start. Tired choice critical as Breed caught up with the leaders.
You're going to find it difficult staying in front of the rest behind today.
Yeah, it's going to be a big challenge, but we're up for it. We're looking for a good run up the gap here this morning.
Which is more predominantly in your wish list, to catch Roy White or get championship points?
Championship points at the end of the day, I suppose, really. But look, we still have 90 stage kilometres today, so it's really like just short of a national rally. So Sam's not too far behind us, as we've seen in the first 2 rounds of the championship. It's not over till it's over, so we'll just have to try and keep going and keep our bib clean and see what happens.
Sam, there's still a national rally left within this event.
Yeah, I know there's a long day's rallying left to go, and hopefully we can push on and try and push Barrable the whole way to the finish.
You decided to make a show today?
Yeah, we came out, so hopefully we can get some miles in today. Quite unfortunate yesterday, but you know, it's still important to keep going. You never know what can happen, so point and a half for finishing could come the end of the year.
Yes, points could be crucial at the end of the season. Over stages 9 to 12, the overnight leader Roy White continued to lead the R5 contingent behind him, and with 3 stages remaining, the lead was now out to 20.6 seconds as he found the stages much more to the Fiesta's liking compared to the Saturday runs. World Rally cars can no longer claim championship points, but they can win individual events, and the Clonmel driver was determined to try and hold on to claim his first ever win in the Kingdom. Sam Moffat has won in Kerry in the past in a World Rally Fiesta, and after 12 stages, his R5 Fiesta had passed Rob Barrable and was now into second place, 20.6 seconds off the lead. Moffat had remained third after 10 stages, but by the end of 11 he was second and kept that advantage over Barrable as they headed for final service.
Flat 5 left, okay, push 86 right, 130. Mid on flat crest, push 80 over crest, dip and flat 6 right, 100 to flat 6 left through dip, 200, small crest red, only 60 to 4 left minus.
Barrable had entertained thoughts of chasing down White for the overall win, but with Moffat breathing down his neck, he had much more pressing thoughts in terms of the overall championship. Barrable slipped 1.2 seconds behind Moffat after 11, and with 3 stages to go, the gap was now 5.3 seconds. Could he find the magic ingredient at final service to get past Moffat again? Stephen Wright was hanging on in there in the Ford Fiesta. He remained 4th after 12 stages, but he was 3 minutes and 46 seconds off White and well over 3 minutes off Barrable. But Wright couldn't rest easy for that 4th place as Joe McGonigal was keeping him honest in 5th in the Fabia, just 10.3 seconds off the Monaghan driver. It was a good run by the Welsh driver, Thomas Davies, in his Fiesta. He was now back to 6th, having slipped by Brendan Comiskey on stage 10, Kilgobnet, but he was some way distant from 5th place, McGonigal. Comiskey had lost 6th to Davies, but there was just 24.3 seconds between the pair. Comiskey would be hoping that the remaining 3 stages on the final loop could improve his position.
It's an achievement to have made it this far. I'm sure you're settling into this machine very well.
Yeah, it's a good car. We're getting to like it well now, so
just need to increase our pace a bit to try and get closer to the guys in front, but we're happy. We're making a bit of progress all weekend. So.
Do you know where you need to do that, or where you can increase the speed? Or
yeah, I suppose less braking and more accelerating.
Problems though for Pádraig Duffy's Fiesta meant that the Citroën of Aaron McKay was now 8th overall. While Joe Connolly was up to 9th in the Fiesta, and he's looking forward to this summer's Gowran Park Festival of Speed.
Festival of Speed in July, one for everyone to look forward to.
Yes, we have a great show to set up in Gowran Park for the Festival of Speed, 16th of July. It's a fantastic event. Barry Vatnan is coming, so he's one of the greats, Billy Coleman, and we'll have a display of all sorts of cars, trucks and motorbikes, etc. We have something for all.
One special guest this year was the TV presenter Quentin Wilson, who was over as a guest of Cartel.
I was lucky enough to fly over all the rally stages in a helicopter and just awestruck. I mean, I literally couldn't speak. Everybody said, "You're very quiet." I mean, just breathtaking. And you are so lucky to have this here on your doorstep. Just beautiful scenery, fantastic roads that we people back in the south of England, well, we just sigh with admiration. It really is great. So it's been a real privilege to come up here and see it all.
Pádraig Duffy was 8th in his Fiesta at one point, but he lost over 3 minutes with a puncture on special stage 9. With 3 stages to go, he dropped down to 10th.
How did the puncture occur?
Basically, there's a three left before you go through the opening on Mall's Gap, and there was a dumb cut on it, and I just didn't hear quick enough and clipped it. Only actually touched it, and then 3 or 4 corners later, flat wheel, I had to pull in and change it. So stopped about 4k into the stage, lost 3.5 minutes.
In the national class, it looked like there was going to be nothing to stop the Toyota Corolla of Kevin Eves. After 12 stages, the Donegal driver had a 34.1 second advantage and was absolutely intent on keeping that lead over the remaining 3 stages, despite 1 or 2 moments.
Kevin, I don't think we can see a clean panel on your car now.
No, Lady Luck's kind of on the week about this weekend. Now we were lucky enough with 2 excursions there and we got away with them. Bit of panel damage, but we're happy out. So I think we have 33 seconds again there on Declan. So let's go round these 3 and hope for the best.
Declan Gallagher wasn't about to let Eves rest on his laurels over the final loop, but stubbornly for the Donegal man, the gap to himself and the leader remained in and around 30 seconds over the final day's opening 4 stages. One-time leader Vincent McSweeney stayed 3rd, almost 2 minutes off Eves, and his situation wasn't helped by this moment in his Honda Civic. Up to 4th with 3 to run, the BMW of Eugene Megan. 5th in the modifieds, Phil Collins in the Mark II Escort, the Welsh driver a welcome and regular competitor in Killarney.
Flat left over crest, stay out for flat left over crest 100. Extra long, left 2 late over bump and bridge, and long right 5. 100. Cut left 2 long, opens 180.
Another class of car in Killarney were the Historics, and Ernie Graham debuted his recently built BMW M3, the car a replica of the late great Bertie Fisher's championship-winning car.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to this weekend. We've taken a good while building the car. Den Motorsport's done a brilliant job, complete replica of Bertie Fisher's old car, and let's see if I can do it justice around the same stages.
Ernie led the historic championship by 2 points from Welsh driver Barry Jones prior to Killarney. Unfortunately, we only got to see Ernie's BMW all too briefly as he retired the M3 after the Historic's 2nd stage. Fisher was the 4-time Irish Tarmac Rally champion until his untimely death back in 2001. He was the Irish Tarmac Rally champion in 1990, 92, 93 and 1996. It was fantastic to see this tough Mac BMW out on the stages. The pity was, it was all too brief. The Historics ran all 15 stages in Killarney, and after 12 stages, Barry Jones led in his Mark II, nearly 3 minutes ahead of the field. Second after 12 runs, Keith McIver in his Ford Escort, but Jones was too far ahead with 3 stages to go. Duncan Williams in another Ford Escort was 3rd in the category and just 10.2 seconds off McIver with 3 to go. Declan Jackson was fourth in a Mark II, while fifth Alan Watkins in the RS 2000 as Brie caught up with a very relaxed historic leader.
Were you expecting to have so much of a cushion at this stage?
Not really, no. The competition is very high, so I'm happy with the at the moment.
In Group N, Gavin Kelly didn't compete in the first 2 rounds in Galway and West Cork, and he and co-driver Lane Nishay led the class with 3 stages to go.
How have you found the weekend so far?
Oh, it's brilliant. The stages are just fantastic. We were a wee bit slow off the mark yesterday, but we're fairly coming together now, I think, and we're learning the car, and pace notes are going great, so she's keeping me well advised. So.
Second in Group N and 12th on the overall leaderboard, Brian O'Keefe's Evo 9.
5 left 30 then. Repeat, 5 left 30 and 5 left OK, 40. 5 left OK again, 30 to 5 left 40. Mid then up over crest to sudden 4 right. Mid over crest, sudden 4 right and 4 right minus. 4 right minus, 4 left opens, 30 to chicane. 3 bail, right hand entry.
William Mavity's Evo was third in Group N.
It will be great to pick up some championship points here this weekend.
Yeah, that's the aim at the minute. We've had plenty of problems yesterday, so we're trying to recover all day, but the pace is there. There's maybe 3 seconds between 4 cars on every stage there today, so everybody's pushing on fairly well.
Fourth, Gerald Donovan's Impreza.
And long, very fast left. And very fast left, 80 into... You've 80 after a second, very fast left to caution, fast left tightens, fast medium at the wall. Fast left tightens to fast medium at the wall. Tightens to fast medium left. 130 down the mid. Fast medium right.
Gus Carney was fifth with 3 stages to go in his Evo 9. This is one of the crews that actually do their own pace notes rather than having them readily supplied.
80. Long 5 left trusted, 80 for long 5 left continues for 200 late, trusted. Long 5 left continues 200 late, 40 to 3 left minus late, 43 left minus late up here at the wall, 480 to 4 right 100.
And the overall leaderboard then with 3 stages to go. Roy White leads by 20.6 seconds from Sam Moffat. Robert Barrable is in third, 5.3 seconds off second place. Stephen Wright's fourth. Joe McGonigal is in fifth place in the Skoda Fabia.
The weather conditions here in Killarney are now more in line with what the drivers became used to during their days of recce. So will that leave them a little bit more braver? The battle for honours will continue here at the Cartel.ie Rally of the Lakes after the break.
Welcome back to the final part of the Cartel.ie Rally of the Lakes, the third round of the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship for 2017, as we look forward to what turns out to be a dramatic end to this year's event. The sun has finally made its appearance in the kingdom to reveal the lakes in all their splendour, a truly magnificent and beautiful part of Ireland, steeped in rally history, in an event that takes place over some of the most scenic and dramatic roads anywhere in Western Europe. We're at final service in Killarney, where Brie caught up with a major fundraising effort by the Kerry Cancer Support Group.
The Lynches, of course, have been involved in motorsport for over 20 years. You're here raising money for something very close to your heart, so in a different capacity this weekend.
Yeah, last November our daughter Leah was diagnosed with a rare cancer, and it was always, once we got over the initial shock, we thought, let's do something that'll take our minds off the whole thing and something positive. And the Health Link bus is a service that runs from Kerry to Cork free for cancer patients, and it's a Monday to Friday thing. The whole service is voluntary, so it relies on voluntary donations. So we said, let's start a whole year campaign for it. So through my own running group, we've done different events, and Dermot is raising money through his rally. So it's the two hobbies have really brought in all the funds.
I'm sure you've been overwhelmed by the support you've been receiving so far.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, it is excellent altogether. I started off back at the circuit at Kerry, and the amount of crowds that phoned me before and came up to meet me in service was unreal. I went on then to the Moonraker the following Saturday, because I'd have done some of the forestry championship and all the different people through the forestry side of it. We raised 1,000 in Kerry and 2,000 at the Moonraker, and it's just excellent altogether.
Before we get to that dramatic conclusion of this year's Rally of the Lakes, let's run through the class winners. Class 9, Noel O'Sullivan and Nicholas Burke in the Escort. Class 10, Dennis O'Brien and Ryan O'Brien in their Opel Corsa. Class 11F, Kenny O'Neill and Ronald Reardon in a Ford Puma. In Class 11R, after leading the class, Rob Duggan had problems on day one and finished behind siblings Andrew and Tara Duggan. Class C12, Sean Moynihan and Liam Brennan in their Ford Escort RS. The top three in Class 13, Ken Lyons and Paddy McDonnell in third. Second, the Talbot Sunbeam of John Devlin and John McCarthy. And the winner of the class in the Ford Escort, Tygo O'Sullivan and Owen O'Leary. Top five in Class 14, Charlie Hickey and Johnny Hickey in fifth. Just ahead of them in fourth, Enda O'Brien and John Butler. Third, Vincent O'Shea and Owen O'Donoghue. Second, Welshman Phil Collins and co-driver Ray Fitzpatrick. And the winner of Class 14, the BMW of Eugene Megan and Sarah Whelan. Class 15, Kevin Nocton and Brendan Behan from County Clare. Class 20, Mark Nangle and Pat Cashman. A third consecutive Class 22 win for Art McCarrick and John McKay. Top three in the historics. Third place, Duncan Williams and Lion Tractor Williams. Second, Keith McIver and David Burns. With the winner, Barry Jones and Ian Griffiths, the new championship leaders.
Yeah, it has been great for us. We had a quiet morning yesterday on Moll's Gap, so from me onwards we pushed a little bit more.
He couldn't get too complacent behind the wheel today, even with that large lead.
No, he's had to keep it neat all day. He was his head. He doesn't often do that, but no, he's been good fair play and just kept it neat and tidy.
On to the national class, and Vincent McSweeney and Michael Carney were third, looking to make the finish in their Civic after his car developed a misfire late on. Second, Declan Gallagher and John McCarthy. With the overall winner, 46.5 seconds ahead of Gallagher, Kevin Eves and William Lynch in the Toyota Corolla.
Well, a win that you certainly worked hard for.
Yeah, no, it was kind of up and down. We started off well yesterday now, and we kind of got a good enough gap to start today. We're just lucky enough we got the jump on Declan, kind of, I suppose, with the new car and stuff. So Vincent didn't let us run away with it either. Now I thought we were done with being chased by Civics now, and we went 2.5. But no, hey, we just tried to keep steady all evening, and the gap's there, and we're happy out to get points.
In the R2 Irish Tarmac Rally Championship 3 class, third overall, Keith Lyons, hampered by a double puncture on the second run up Moll's Gap. Second, James Wilson and Gavin Doherty. With the overall winners of R2 and 16th overall, John Mulholland and Jeff Case.
John and Jeff, a lot of your hard work was put in yesterday, which meant that today was a bit of a recreational drive.
Yeah, that's it's one of the hardest days I've had in rallying in a long while, because we've been trying to protect the lead. Yes, through all the heavy rain yesterday and all the conditions, and through Kilmacalogue, we pulled back a 23 second deficit to get within 0.6 seconds of the lead. So we come out today with a bit of gutso and thought we'd give it all we could up the gap, and unfortunately the Lions boys had a puncture. That gave us like a three minute lead, and then the rest of the day it was just trying to protect that.
In Group N, third overall, William Maverty and Andrew Brown. Second, Brian O'Keefe and Sean Haid. With the winners, Gavin Kelly and Elaine Nichet, and inside the top 10 in their Evo 9.
A really eventful weekend. Fantastic to finish on top here.
Yeah, we're delighted. Yeah, everyone went well, and we're just glad to be here.
A special prize for you this weekend as well, Elaine.
I know, it's great, yeah, to win Group N in the home rally, so yeah, delighted.
And so to the overall standings, and although he was placed 19th overall, Alistair Fisher picked up 1.5 points for finishing, which could be crucial come championship end. 9th were Porrick Duffy and Kevin Glynn in their Ford Fiesta. 8th, the County Kilkenny pairing of Joe Connolly and his son Richard in their Fiesta. 7th, Aaron McHale and Derek Kelly in the Citroën DS3. 6th, Brendan Comiskey and Ronan O'Kane in their Skoda Fabia. And moving up the leaderboard late on, Thomas Davis and Uric Davis in the Fiesta. Joe McGonigal and Kieran Keeney finished 4th in their Fabia, just 12.6 seconds off a podium place. Stephen Wright was 3rd overall after his battle with McGonigal, and a good haul of series points as well for Wright. But the overall positions of the rally were to be turned on its head by the end of stage 13, when Roy White came to the end of the stage with visible damage to his Fiesta World Rally car after coming together with a bail during the stage. It was cruel luck on the Clonmel driver, who looked all over a winner, but he never even made it back to the podium in Killarney after his crash. Benefiting from White's moment with the bail was Robert Barrable and Damien Connolly, who finished 2nd, 16.5 seconds behind the winner, the first championship haul for his new Hyundai. But winning in Killarney for the 2nd time, and a full haul of championship points, and the new series leader, Sam Moffat and co-driver Carl Atkinson in their Ford Fiesta, after a dramatic conclusion to this year's event.
Well done. Well done, Sam.
Yeah, it was. We went home last night and went through the notes, made sure everything was okay, and decided to go on a real big push this morning, and it paid off, thankfully. The competition was fierce. Robert led it right to the end, and just so happy to put the extra effort in, and it worked out for us.
You needed that competition today. What did it feel like crossing the finish line on that 15th stage this evening?
Massive relief. It was just, we had to push so hard on the 3 stages earlier today, and Rob pushed us so hard all day and yesterday, and it's just massive relief.
This outright rally win was so close, so much within your grasp today.
Yeah, just a small overshoot. Made life a little bit difficult for us, but to be fair, Sam came out charging this morning, and to be fair, it was our day yesterday, it was his day today, so hopefully the next rally it might be our day.
So the final results then, Sam Moffat takes a dramatic win in this year's Killarney Rally of the Lakes. Robert Barrable finishes in 2nd place ahead of Stephen Wright, John McGonigal and Thomas Davies. In the championship, Moffat now leads on 43 points. Alistair Fisher's in 2nd now, 32.5 points for him, ahead of Joe McGonigal, Robert Barrable and Josh Moffat's in 5th. I'm John Kenny. I'll be with you for the next round, the Dual International Donegal Rally.
Motorsport is never without drama, and what drama we saw on that final loop of stages this evening. Commiserations to Roy White, but congratulations to the Monaghan man Sam Moffat, who took the win here and has now taken the lead in the Clonakilty Black Pudding Irish Tarmac Championship. He will lift his award from this dazzling display of awards this evening before he goes to the 4th round of the championship in Donegal. See you then.